Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Mirikitani with another episode of Weighing In. We're brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com for all of your Nike branded gear. Resilite.com, best mats in the game. Pure and Clean Sports, best mat cleaner in the game. A special after Christmas pre-Midlands episode. I think I woke my man Eddie Woody straight out of the bed. He got on the new jammies. He'd be looking good. I was still on a hat and a hoodie, but the worst thing is you look better like that than I do like that. So first of all, we texted, but Merry Christmas to you and your fam.
Merry Christmas, my brother.
So catch everybody up real quick. You guys was it Battle of Waterloo? Was that last weekend?
Yes, sir. Battle of Waterloo.
So that looks like a cool tournament. It's a dual meet tournament, bunch of teams. It's at Coralville, right? At Extreme Arena.
Yes, sir. Oh no. It's in Waterloo. It's in
it's in Waterloo.
At the Young Arena. Young Arena.
Is that a hockey arena as well?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I've only been in there when wrestling was going on though. You know, when EJ was young, we used to go in there, and I think that's where they would have the Hawkeye Nationals in there too.
Hockey arenas are perfect for wrestling for people that don't know, because a hockey arena is 200 by 85, so 8 mats fit perfectly. So, I mean, not that y'all in Iowa love wrestling that much, but if you did, yeah. So, and that's where your son had a big win against a great opponent, Hendrik Schwab, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Don Bosco's got themselves a nice team, number 1 in Class 1. Southeast Polk, or SEP, is they're known as number 1 in Class 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they dueled in the round robin finals, right? Is that how it got there? There's 4 teams and everybody wrestles everybody?
Yes, sir.
And he got a 10-2 win. So congrats to Flash. Flash is one of my favorite guys. So great kid. I've had a chance to watch 3 high-level wrestling meets with him, and have enjoyed it every time. Very, very high IQ for his age. Well, period, but especially for his age. So, you know, I haven't texted him yet, but please tell him congratulations for me.
Yes, sir.
So, and we had Fab 50 duels last weekend, which was nice too. So, we had Blair's B team, but if you count their A team as ranked, 7 of the 8 teams were in the top 49, 6 were in the top 28, and 5 were in the top 18. So some really good scrapping there.
That's going to be a lot of good scrapping.
Well, we're going to double the size of the meet next year to 16 teams, double it from 1 day to 2. Shout out to Dave Bell, the legendary coach in Bergen Catholic, who's at North Hunterdon now, and for being our host. And the moms and dads there did a great job. There's a bar there called Harper's Table, where some of the best wings I've ever had, and they took us out there, and it's owned by wrestlers. The waiters are wrestlers. They snuck in a lacrosse player in there, but I spotted him. So
was it easy to spot?
He just didn't have bad ears, man. He was like a little too pretty. Still built good.
Yeah.
But the hospitality from those people up there were really nice. A young man named Jared Klimas did our streaming, and he walked in afterwards, and they gave him a standing ovation. Matt Bergmeyer, who is Grant Turner's associate from Nike, was up there selling, and Krista Febo, who is Willie Saylor's sister, she was there on site while Willie was RAF, and Krista and her boyfriend's daughter helped set up, and they were soldiers along with my crew. So Bergmeyer said he's normally there till 1 a.m, and he was done at 8:15 over hanging out eating wings with us. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's a lonely life. Like, I know what that life is, to travel and know people, but then you kind of go back to the room alone. And if everybody's kind of all hanging out, then you just eat by yourself sometimes. And so it was great to hang out with all those people, and very, very kind. We're working on some major additions that we'll continue to announce on the podcast, but all 8 teams are coming back. I think we'll have another 4 or 5 in the next, I would say, 7 to 10 days.
It would be really awesome if some Iowa teams would be able to go, but that would mean some changes have to happen, and Iowa, right? For the rules.
Yes. So listen, this is a funny story. Sandy Stevens told me at one point, if anything ever happened to my parents, she would adopt me.
Mm-hmm.
She yelled at me the first year the Hall of Fame duels came out. There was an article that came out, and she's like, David, how dare you not invite an Iowa team? I said, Sandy, I love you, but the rules prevent it, and it's your rules, and it's not our rules. And we ain't scared of anybody. We want all the smoke.
That's right.
I had to explain to her what all the smoke meant, but after that, she understood. I'm like, are we trying to build the best thing we can, you know? So I was telling my mom at Christmas yesterday how hard it is to build a tournament in the Midwest like that when Wisconsin has travel restrictions, Michigan travel restrictions, Minnesota travel restrictions, Iowa travel restrictions, Alabama and Mississippi and Arkansas, all very new, and Louisiana, all very new in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas, a lot of good teams, not a lot of great teams.
Mm-hmm.
And Missouri's down team-wise. There's maybe 2 teams that are ranked nationally. So, and so when you take all that, and Illinois is weirdly not great team-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, you had the Montinis and all these other teams over the years, Oak Park, River Forest. So it's kind of amazing what we put together in Oklahoma. So next year we'll be running the duels at Poway, the Best of the West duels, the weekend of Ironman, and then Fab 50 will be out in Jersey again. So I wanted to talk today about the freshmen. This feels like a unique year in how many freshmen are having a major impact on the rankings. Some of them I think were highly predictable, and at least a couple I think were not. So what I'm going to do is pull up the rankings on Matt King's, and then I'm also going to we'll start at 25, but there's nobody really there. And by the way, shout out to I think you know these guys, the Pagliais.
Yes, sir.
So Luca, Zane's son, is doing the rankings for us. So I talked to Luca yesterday on Christmas. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. So they were flying to Arizona. I had some shoes signed by Zahid Valencia that Zane bought for Luca for Christmas to support the charity. And it was just a very cool phone call. That kid, I'm going to do this job for about 6 more years, and then he's going to come take it from me. So, I think he's 11 now. So I think I got to his junior in high school. But he plugs in all the ranking stuff every week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and his dad's helping him a little bit, but he's doing great. So there's really no freshmen here. I mean, Mac Mauger, I don't think Conrick Hendrickson's he wrestled last year, but really nobody up here. Zeke Witt's good. Zeke's a Kansas kid. I'm sure you have to know Zeke with your roots.
I remember him, and he's a brawler. He was there EJ's first year.
Yes, he was. He got O-dub. So we're proud of him. So, but here's where it gets very interesting very quickly at 33, Eddie. Ben Davino, Kyler Larkin, Marcus Blaze. All 3 of these dudes, I think we expected to be very good, right? Like Ben Davino, I'm looking up his wrestle stat. He's 13-0 this year and 19-1 the year before. Blaze is a true freshman that's made a bunch of world teams and medaled and Ironman and who's number 1 and everything else. And then Larkin, who also wrestled in Border Brawl against Jax Forrest, one of the best matches we've ever had. Maybe the best match we had in terms of complete attention paid to it. Like you could hear a pin drop in that gym when it was happening.
Yeah.
So your thoughts on Davino, Larkin, Blaze in any order that you would like to talk about them?
I'm going to start with Ben because I'm going to tell you what, like coming out of high school, we all knew Ben was good. Watching him do the things and the competitions that he had, because he's always been in the mix. But this year, he is looking really, really good. I mean, like he's made some major jumps it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if he was the man to end on top. And at the beginning of the year, I don't think that most people would have had him in that conversation to be, especially with the Drake Ayala being back and Marcus Blaze. Like, I think he's someone that people probably expected to come in and be really, really good and like a NCAA finalist type competitor right out the gate because of what he's done. Kylan Larkin, I mean, he comes from good stock, and you mentioned time and time again, him and his brother, they look super good on the mat, really tough, really gritty, and very creative wrestlers when I watch them.
I like the word creative, and if you ever have a 10-minute conversation with Eric Larkin, he's like this perfect combination of calm, but locked in, determined. Like, he's sort of the complete representation of everything matters, but nothing matters. Like, get ready for this match, but no matter what happens, there's another one next week or next month or next year. And it is interesting to watch him. We got to see him at national duels, and I had an angle where I could watch the match and kind of peek over and see him in the stands. And he's definitely coaching in the stands and moving, but great perspective. Those kids are still living at home, and I think it really helps them. They have unbelievable length for their two weight classes. We'll get to Caleb at 49.
Absolutely.
And so you get their foot in the air, and it's sort of the beginning of the journey. Like,
you're like, now what you got to do?
Yeah, I think Flash would behoove him to watch these two wrestle. They wrestle a completely different style than him, but similar body types, especially where I think he could pick a few things up defensively.
Yeah.
And in scrambling. They're definitely very, very good in scrambling, and wrestling is becoming more and more of that. It's almost impossible to finish guys clean now. These rankings, I think our guy hasn't posted the updates yet because Marcus Blaze has to be ranked above Tyler Knox after he pinfalled him after an illegal singlet pull. But I had Davino picked really high at the beginning of the year. And this weight class is also nuts, Eddie, because Jaxson first is coming in.
Bro, 133 is going to be crazy. It's already crazy.
I know. Already crazy. And no disrespect to Bird, Frost, Ayala.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if it was all freshmen, Davino, Larkin, Blaze, Jax?
That could happen.
It can happen.
That could happen. I mean, like it is not out of
it's not out of the
imagining. Like it's totally possible to imagine, those guys being the top three.
Oh yeah, but top four with Jax.
Top four with Jaxson. The only thing is, I'm like, I think what Lucas Bird has been showing a lot of is he is a real dog, though. So I'm like, I don't know, like that's the only part. But I still feel like these guys, and he is a man.
He's a grown man,
right?
I mean, he had that big scare against Cade Moore where he got high flyer and it came all the way back. Yeah. And listen, to beat the man, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Lucas Bird is all that. So I'm just saying it is theoretically possible that happens. The other news tied to this weight class, which I don't think people see, are piecing it together. Anthony Knox decommitted from Cornell. My understanding is he didn't want to leave. Just from a very reliable source, but they got that pending thing from the meet before districts where he got the injunction to wrestle at state, but there's still civil and charges and stuff like that, and Cornell wasn't going to be able to take him. This isn't fact. This is just what I was told.
Right.
Okay? So I could be wrong, but the rumors are it's either Ohio State, Rutgers, or Virginia Tech. I know Bo Bass is actively calling people and trying to get people to flip. Yeah. But I'll tell you this right now. If Anthony Knox goes to Ohio State, well, either way, Knox or
where's he fit?
Well, Mills will decommit because they'll give the Mills money to Knox. I mean, that's what's going to happen. But then I think this is what the thing is. I think it fits perfectly because I think he comes in at 25. Buzakis bumps to 33. Davino bumps to an Olympic weight at 41. I'm telling you, I think this happens with either Mills or Knox.
But next year, okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying like Buzakis is killing himself. Like Buzakis is one of the most interesting stories of the year because when he gets a 4-hour weigh-in or longer, he's Superman.
Yeah.
Like he's killing these dudes. Like he picked up Steve O'Poulin like a child.
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't even look like he's trying. But we talked about it last week. How hard is the Thursday morning weigh-in going to be and the Friday morning weigh-in? Because if that dude gets through those, he's going to weigh 147 pounds on Saturday night. And he going to beat anybody.
He going to crush the world.
He's too big.
That's the way I used to look at Mark Hall and Zahid, because during the season, Mark would always win, you know, because they'd have that 2-hour weigh-in, and then you get to the national finals, and it's like child's play for Zahid.
It's such a weird dynamic what our sport does. Like almost all the events are dual meets.
Mm-hmm.
There are some one-day tournaments. There's maybe a 2-day tournament. Like we'll get to it, Midlands, Scuffle, Soldier Salute. And then we wrestle a 3-day tournament to determine our champion. Like we do a format we don't do all year. It's kind of bizarre. So I will say this. I think all 3 of these freshmen place. Would you agree with that?
I 100% agree. I'm like, if they don't, I would be terribly shocked.
Yeah.
Because they're next level. And like I said, this isn't just Davino's first. Like he put together a good redshirt year last year too, where I don't think he took a loss last year.
He was 19-1. Let me look up who he lost to. But yes, he was amazing. Let me see if we can pull that up.
Okay, 19-1.
He lost to Dylan Shaver on tiebreaker 3-2. But I mean, he beat Buzakis.
Yeah.
Beat Ryan Miller. Beat Ethan Bergank. I mean, he's.
So in 2 years.
In 2 years, he is 32-1 with a 66% bonus rate.
He's wrestling lights out. Like, there's no denying it.
Yeah, 21 bonus point wins. So
I always been a Davino fan too, because I mean, I think he's in the right spot having Mendez as a training partner. I'm like, he's only gonna just continue to get better.
Stieber and Jaggers too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's a good point on the fit there. I think he's going to continue to improve. And his coming out party were national duels, where he just absolutely took it to Ayala. And then he backed that up with a Frost win at the collegiate duels. We should mention quickly the national duels have moved to the Ironman weekend. A bunch of things are going to change, or not. Like things are going to change. Like if they don't listen, I don't know Mark Torella very well, but his family's friends with my family. If you need help, call my family and me. They need to move CKLV to November.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a week away, and people are not going to go when they're going to go to a meet where they get paid. Yeah. And then Frank Popolicio is really smart. He will move his collegiate duels, and they'll have to go. You can't move them second semester because everybody's got conference stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Christmas tournaments are going to get thinned out even more because, like, it's going to kill Midlands. Nobody's going to do national duels and that 2 weeks later. I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people.
Yes, it'll be unlikely. And Midlands, I mean,
it's on life support anyway.
I was about to say it's already not what it used to be. I will say, though, looking through these brackets, looking for the top 20 competitors, I was actually a little bit pleasantly surprised.
Good. Well, you can help us with that. Here's my surprise freshman of the year so far, Sergio Vega. Okay, it's not. And listen, I got to cheat. He came to Hall of Fame duels last year.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him wrestle live. He's really obviously scrambly, incredibly long for the weight. He's super dangerous. Ostrander and I talked last week before the rematch with Hardy, and I said if I was Hardy, I would not shoot and I would not scramble with him. And Mark said, no, you do what you do, and you just keep doing it. And there's an argument for that.
Mm-hmm.
That argument didn't win this past weekend. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm right and he's wrong.
No, I get you. I know. I'm like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, do what
I would
you
do
do
this.
better.
I would make Sergio Vega shoot on me. Okay, like I would not.
Yeah.
Have him. I would not be shooting. And if you do, you got to get his feet off the ground. Like what's crazy is Nasir Bailey had him in overtime, had his leg in the air, and just didn't finish, and then just sort of collapsed and gave up the reshot way too quickly. I mean, so obviously the kid can be beat, but he presents intriguing matchups against Echemendia and Mendez.
Here's
Go ahead.
He is a pinner, David. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and what he did to Hardy in the last match, that's what he could do that to anybody. Like that's what he's known for. So I'm like, I agree with you 100%. Like if you shoot on him and you don't finish fast, you're taking a risk, a big risk, because his cradles come from everywhere.
And he's good on top. So, you know, if you go the stand around match, he can win on riding time.
Yes.
He reminds me, wrestling him reminds me of like a jiu-jitsu fight where like you're the wrestler and they're the submission guy and you're scoring all the points. Not that people like you know, like you can be okay in a lot of positions and then you're not, then your arm's broke.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
tapping.
it. Yeah.
And I'm not seeing people, I don't know if he's even been behind this year. I mean, he's absolutely boat raced Hardy twice. Once he beat him by like 12 points or 10 points.
Yeah.
And then this time it was close until it wasn't. You know, but even if he doesn't get the pin, he's up 7-0.
And that's the thing that makes me wonder how things are going to go when he finally meets Mendez and Echemendia, because I'm like, you know, those guys are a little bit different from Hardy. You know,
stronger. They're both stronger.
Way stronger, yeah. Speaking of those, so I'm watching the match they just had where Mendez beat Echemendia 5-1. I was like, man, I am amazed at just how strong Mendez is, because when he wrestles Echemendia, he doesn't look like he should have more horsepower than Echemendia. But he's
super fundamental though, right? His hips are always underneath him, his head's always up. His back's always in the right position.
Yes. And it makes
you know that dude can lift
really
weights.
Strong.
Yeah. He's super fundamental. So, I mean, I guess, do we feel like, I feel like Sergio's a top 4 guy for sure at Nationals. Do you agree?
I think Sergio's going to be in the finals with a real chance of winning it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I agree. He's definitely top 4.
You think he beats Echemendia twice then?
I see it. I mean, like, yeah. I think that usually, I mean, watching Echemendia, I haven't seen anybody that's not beat him again. I mean, like, there might be some situation, but, you know, like, you know, generally, who was it that he used to always lose? Was it Bartlett?
Yeah.
Him and Bo used to always have these super, and I don't think he ever got over that hill. So I'm like, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I really think he's a tough guy. He's really good, really strong, really explosive. But I don't know that he really makes adjustments well. You know,
I think he did like if you watch the Echemendia match again, he faked singles for 4 minutes and then hit a double. I think his IQ is really smart. Yeah. I think if you're a Vega fan, the best thing you have going for you in that match is Mendez is not going to get a feel for him.
Yeah.
Right. And I think Sergio Vega is a very weird feel.
Yeah.
Each time you get him, it's like you're good. It's like wrestling a python or an anaconda, and all of a sudden you're just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was getting ready for the jiu-jitsu world, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And I trained with this guy who was a black belt, and I had coached him in wrestling, and you know he wasn't very good in wrestling. And this guy climbed me like a tree and told me what he was doing while he did it. Like, I'm going to arm drag you now and climb up, and then I'm going to take your back, and then you're going to need to tap so you don't. It was so humbling.
Be like, dude, why wouldn't you like this in wrestling?
Yeah, it's a different feel, bro. It's a different feel. But it was so humbling. And I just think like he was so far advanced, I wouldn't have caught him.
Yeah.
But I would have felt at least what I would have known the feel. So
yeah.
Okay, 49 might be my favorite weight for freshmen. It says here that Caleb Larkin's a sophomore, but he's an injured sophomore. He's going to get a redshirt year. But Jaxson, Joy, and Larkin, and this weight's crazy, Eddie. There's no returning champion. I mean, Van Ness has made the finals once, I think. You know, like both these dudes could be in the finals. Jaxson, Joy absolutely put it on Larkin at the CKLV Sems. Take down, cradle, cradle, cradle.
I think that's what's going to happen here.
You think Jaxson Joy is going to do that to Larkin or to Van Ness?
I think that both of those guys are going to make the finals.
Well, for that to happen, Larkin has to fall to the 4 seed. I mean, because if Van Ness wins out, he's going to be the 1 seed.
Right.
Which could happen.
Will he meet any of these guys before?
I'd have to look at their schedule.
Okay.
I mean, some interesting things have happened here. Let me pull this up. So, again, these are a day old because Styles lost to Frost. So that changes some things in the rankings. And I'll tell you who's sneaky ranked here is Caleb Tyus, who's undefeated from SIU. And he beat Swiderski, and then Swiderski just beat Chance Lamer. But Larkin's in the Big 12 now. It's sometimes I forget that. But he would have to beat Frost. That's probably his highest ranked opponent. Okay. So
I forgot all about my guy, Tyus. I was looking for him and I was having some type of brain fart. I'm glad you mentioned him.
Well, I called the final. We were at SIU. So I'm pulling up the rankings on Intermat here real quick at 49 because these are going to be updated. So I'm going to share this tab instead. So like Frost is 5 now, right? Larkin's 3. But the real question is for them to meet in the finals, like Cross Wasilewski can become the 3 seed. Well, that would be very interesting because that's a top 4 matchup in the Ivy League, which you very, very rarely see. So if everybody wins out, Jaxson Joy and Caleb Larkin are a semi.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. But what a great,
Well, so my question is, who does Penn State have? Because I'm like, I remember last year, you know, I was very high on Shane Van Ness last year and thought that, you know, he was going to be in the finals because he started off the season looking really, really good. And I don't know what happened.
But he's a great wrestler, but he struggles on bottom.
Yes.
That's the wrong position and not be good at against Jaxson Joy.
I would say that's probably not a good position to not be good at against Caleb Larkin as well.
For sure. But I mean, Jaxson Joy's, listen, you need to break down that Jaxson Joy thing and teach Eddie that Cradle series because, like, I can learn it and I got T-Rex arms. I ain't ever getting there. But,
he is built for some cradles that he likes them. So, yeah, have to study.
It's a very cool series he's got. Okay. So I actually talked to Pritz about it, but he's got boot in and then he goes opposite side and he traps the far arm against your body and then loops behind the leg and then goes. And you can't post.
That's the only bad part.
Why is that?
The boot in, because every time EJ puts a boot in, he gets reversed.
Well, tell him to go shallow boot and not deep boot. Just watch it. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Jaxson Joy's so good. I think he's winning every match 1-0. I don't think people are going to pick down.
Okay.
It's terrifying. But anyway, so I'm counting Caleb Larkin as a freshman.
Well, somebody was just discussing with me that I didn't see the match yet. I never went back and watched it with him and Bo Bassett where they were like, They stopped it as soon as Joy had the Cradle locked up, and they could have changed the whole dynamics of that match.
It speaks very highly of Bo Bassett that he beat Jaxson Joy, who is now ranked number 2 in the country. And I think we all expect Bo Bassett to make an immediate impact. But Jaxson Joy is another guy like Vega in a different way, but he also cradles from the scrambles a lot too.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll go to 57.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah. So 2 freshmen here, PJ Duke, Landon Rabideau. And so Rabideau just lost to Antrell. PJ Duke is undefeated. So these 2 dudes, I mean, I think we all knew about PJ Duke, Landon Rabideau. And here's one of the things we should be saying, and we're not saying. These kids are committing earlier and earlier. Okay. Most of them are, you're about to go through it. Your son after Fargo next year. Well, June 15th, your son's phone is going to blow up. And then it's going to be like the rush before prom where everybody wants to take him.
Yeah.
He's going to commit. And then he's going to be committed for basically 24 months. Okay. 22 months. But what a lot of these kids are doing is they're not spending that much time at their high school. So like Landon Rabideau was basically at Stillwater all last. Stillwater is doing it more than anybody, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some discrepancy about the rules. That was part of the whole Bo Bassett leaving Iowa thing that like, can you house kids? Can they train there? Is it legal? And, their big thing was, well, Jax is doing this. We want to do that. But you're like Sam Herring's not wrestling this year. He's just training at Penn State. I mean, Jax is going to wrestle Powerade, I think, and then be done. Like, so, but Landon Rabideau was down there last year, okay? PJ Duke beat Yianni Diakomahalis. If you don't have to know a lot about wrestling.
That's how you need to, yeah.
Yeah, like, if you don't know anything about wrestling and he beat him 2 out of 3 after getting teched the first match, okay? So, like, it isn't like he got lucky. It isn't like Yianni was hurt.
No, he made adjustments, and
yes.
He came out stronger in matches 2 and 3. I was extremely surprised.
Yeah,
I think. Well, I mean, probably the whole wrestling world. After the first match, I'm like, wow.
Well, you know who picked him to win before it started and texted me after the first. No.
Oh.
Cornell Robinson.
Oh, for the you're talking about for the 2 out of 3 with
Yianni.
Yianni, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man.
I did pick him to make the finals this year.
I think that's gonna happen. I think it's hard for me to imagine a top 3 that doesn't have Duke, Taylor, and Rabideau in it.
Yeah. Well, Brandon Cannon's wrestling great. Ty Waters has wrestled well. Vinny had a huge win against Iowa, Jordan Williams in the duel, like massive win in terms of momentum. I mean, after Ryder Block stole the momentum, he came right back. So
how great is Waters really wrestling though? Because why'd they hold him out against Oklahoma State?
I can only answer one of those questions. I certainly don't know why they held him out, but let me pull up his wrestle stat.
Because I'm like,
he's 10-0, 63% bonus rate. He's beat Laird Root. He got the injury default over Zerbin. He beat Stony Buell. He beat Chance McLean. He hasn't really. And his biggest win of the year was Cardenas in the All-Star meet, but that match doesn't count.
Right. So that's another thing that makes me not really understand the logic behind these rankings. Whether we don't put, if you're going to put a guy that's undefeated, has Duke beat anybody?
Let me look and see. I mean, Penn State's early season schedule is like literally not known for being super strong, but I mean, they kind of have a good formula, right?
Yeah.
So he beat Jared Hill. He beat Gavin Drexler, who was an All-American last year, but he's 0-4. The big win he had was he beat Cardenas 5-2.
Okay.
And that match did count because it was in the duel.
Okay.
So we got to keep it moving because we love talking. So anyway, both these dudes, super legit.
Yeah.
165, D Lockett and LJ Arujau. I mean, I think LJ Arujau is a round of 12 guy and can certainly place. I think after the top 4, that weight's wide open. Okay. Ladarian's big win is against Mikey Caliendo.
Yeah.
And you and I have been knowing about him for a long time. I think most of us have. We had him in the 8th coming as a 9th grader in Border Brawl, but he has beaten. Now here's a guy with some wins. He's got a hit list already. Hunter Garvin, Will Denny, Caliendo, and Arujau.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's going to have a barn burner semi no matter who he wrestles, right?
Yes.
He will, if he wins out, he will be the 2 seed, assuming Messenbrink or Blaze win out. If Caliendo wins the Big Tens, Ladarian will be the 1 seed. Because he has head-to-head.
Yes.
Of head-to-head winning percentage, and they'll both be conference champs.
You know what? You saying that makes me hope that even more that Caliendo wins the Big Tens.
Because you want Ladarian to be the 1?
I do.
Here's the thing. I mean,
because if he's the 1, that means Messenbrink and Caliendo are 2 and 3.
Listen, don't sleep on Joey Blaze.
I know he's tough. I'm not.
I'm saying it could be Joey Blaze might. I mean, I don't know how that would work right now because I don't know who Iowa, if they wrestle Purdue. Like for the conference tournament seedings, they only use the conference matches. So Caliendo, Blaze, and Messenbrink are all 0-0 right now for that purpose. So anyway, 74, not a lot of freshmen here. 84, 2 freshmen superstars. So Ferrari and Sinclair, they're real freshmen, but they're pseudo freshmen, and that we're not surprised, Eddie. Like, Ferrari and Sinclair both used their 5 events last year. I'm going to start calling it events because it's not dates or matches, it's events. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ferrari basically won the duel for Iowa against Dustin Plott, and he also gave Carter Sirachi a really close match. Sinclair wrestled some matches at 97 last year. His gas tank looked a little sus at times last year, but he's been absolutely awesome this year. His only loss is to Ferrari in overtime, and he beat McAnally. So, and this is another weight where it feels like there's a clear tier to the top 4 guys. And so, I mean, these guys could hit in the semis. They could hit in the finals. I mean,
I think I like to see that. I really like Sinclair. When I was in Wisconsin, he would be in the room with our Law Dogs, lacrosse area wrestlers. And so I'm a big fan of Aiden. I think that it's going to be real hard for him to beat McAnally again. I see Angelo, if he wins out, he's going to be in the finals. Rocco's going to be tough, but I don't think he's going to have what it takes to beat Angelo.
I'm the only guy in the country that thinks that Rocco Welsh should be ranked number 1. I don't think he's the best guy.
Yeah.
I think he should be ranked number 1. He's undefeated. He was a runner-up as a true freshman.
Yes. He did have a year off.
He's the highest returning medalist in this weight class.
I don't disagree with you. I mean,
I must be crazy. I'm the only person in America that's ever done rankings apparently that thinks this.
Yeah.
Because if we were doing rankings for track back in the day, Rocco Welsh should be 1. Ostrander might be fighting.
But he hasn't faced any of these guys yet.
Doesn't matter.
I know. I get it. I'm just saying.
He starts at 1 and hasn't lost. I'm just saying. So, So, all right, Sinclair, he's a definite top 4. Do you think he makes the finals?
I love him, but I don't.
Yeah, too hard, right?
Yeah, that match with him and McAnally, that's being consistent in winning that match is going to be hard for both of those guys. So maybe if he was in the Big Tens and he lost them in the Big Ten finals, that'd be like, okay, you get to the NCAAs, he's going to beat him in the NCAAs because he just lost to him. But since he has the last win over McAnally, I think that McAnally's going to have that fire. And I think that kind of, gives those guys just a little bit extra motivation when they're the guy that lost last.
Agreed. 97, Cody Merrill's ranked 8th. He's 8-1. There's another freshman here that I don't think people are paying enough attention to. He's got some losses. Angelo Posada out of Poway is a freshman at Stanford, but he had Merrill beat in Gallagher. So I think we all kind of agree Merrill's going to probably be in the round of 12. But I'm telling you, Posada's pretty freaking good. People need to keep an eye out for him. And heavyweight, as you would expect, like Coy Hopke and Mirasol are the two freshmen there that I think most people are keeping an eye on. Those guys are both in that round of 12 ranking. Mirasola took the loss to Christian Carroll, so that kind of took things a little bit off of him. So, all right. So, Eddie, you understood the assignment. We talked about, so just so people understand, Midlands is the only thing left in 2025. And then next week, I'll get back with the boys and we'll talk about Scuffle, Soldier Salute, Northern Iowa at Nebraska, and Iowa State at Stanford. But here are the teams listed according to Seton Hall Pirate, who does a great job of putting all this together. Bucknell, Cal Poly, Central Michigan, Franklin and Marshall with Conway, Harvard, Illinois, Indiana, Northern Illinois, Northwestern, Oregon State, Pitt, SIU, and Stanford. So I'll just tell you quickly what sticks out to me. Franklin and Marshall with Conway. Indiana's got a couple studs. Illinois, really good team. It'll be interesting to see the administrative leave thing, how that's affecting people. Oregon State with Rademacher, Pitt with Max Stout. I think, Rademacher and Stout's a potential matchup. Caleb Tyus at SIU. And Stanford's got a very interesting tournament team. They've got some dudes that can go. Tyler Knox, Aiden Valencia, Daniel Cardenas, Posada, just to name 4 guys right there. So you kind of did some research on this. What are the things that you're most looking forward to?
The brackets that I feel like are the deepest are the 125 bracket and that 285. I mean, 285, you got Bastida, Trumbull, Feldman, Taylor, Gadali, Mullen, Luffman, and Pitzer. That's
wait a minute. Bastida's not wrestling in this. Iowa State's not in this.
Iowa State's not. They're on the list I have.
No, they gave you the wrong list then.
Holy mo!
Easy.
Okay, I say holy moly.
Okay,
that stinks. That changes things.
Certainly. So, I mean, here's what I think is interesting. All right, so I think 149 is interesting. Caleb Tyus, right? He's a guy that comes from a small school, right? They didn't even qualify a guy last year. So, what's going to happen there? But
I think he has a real shot. I mean, he's the 9 ranked guy right now, and the highest ranked guy in that bracket is number 5, right? Frost? Nope, not Frost. It'll be Styles then, right? At 6.
Styles isn't wrestling. Ohio State. Whoever gave you the list is all wrong.
Ohio State's not there.
No. So,
crap. I
mean, I think here's the matchup that's interesting. Tyus and Aiden Valencia. Okay? Because Aiden Valencia is 7-4, but he absolutely boat raced Swiderski. Swiderski just beat Chance Lamer. So it gets messy. Let me see if Utah Valley's in this one. They're not. So Illinois is not super good at 49, but that's an interesting matchup at 57. So we didn't talk about this, but Cannon Webster had a great match with Meyer Shapiro. 2-1.
He's always been tough anyway. I mean, sooner or later, that kid's going to break out.
I agree.
He's going to be really, really hard for anybody to deal with. because he's got size, he's got strength, and he's got a bit of a motor.
Right. So Webster and Cardenas are ranked 8 and 9 right now, right? So that's a big win. Here's what happens this time of the year, Eddie. Like, people started getting handcuffed, okay? So, like, the year that Joe Colon pinned Tony Ramos, Joe Colon was going to be the number 1 or 2 seed. I think AJ Shop was in that way, or Stieber was in that way. But I'm like, Joe Colon's going to be the number 2 seed at Nationals. Maybe it was Shop. I can't remember. But I'm like, listen, if Tony Ramos wins the Big Ten, Joe Colon's going to be seated over everybody else in the Big Ten. And so these guys that are from conferences that are not as tough, so like a Caleb Tyus, okay, if Caleb Tyus can win this tournament and beat whoever, but like if he was beating a guy like, again, like if he beats, let me pull it back up here. If he beats an Aiden Valencia, and Aiden Valencia goes out and wrestles really well in the ACC, let's say Aiden Valencia, beats Coy Biskins, okay, who's ranked 7th right now, is 13-1. Caleb Tyus is going to get a really nice seat at Nationals because he's going to be undefeated, he's going to be a conference winner, and he's going to have some really big wins. So this is a massive weekend for like Daryl Thomas and Jeremy Spates and company.
Yes.
Because, listen, like,
I would love to see him win.
For sure. But, like, listen, when you're coaching a guy and he got a bad draw, we all say the same thing. The seeds don't matter.
Right.
So you got to say, right? But seeds matter unless you're the best guy. Seeds matter if nothing else, matchups, right? Like if I struggle with tall guys, I don't want to wrestle Nico DeSalvo. I don't want to wrestle Will Oberbrockling. I don't want to wrestle Eddie Woody. If tall guys are my thing and I can get to their legs and finish, then I do want to wrestle those guys. And it doesn't even matter who's better a lot of times. It's just style matchups.
Yes.
So these matchups are really going to matter. I mean, there's a bunch of these weights as you go through. Let me just see if we can pick out maybe a matchup or two for people to keep an eye on. So I think like Max Renneria at Oregon State, and Jacob Moran. Okay, so that's another one, right? They're ranked 10 and 12 right now. So if Renneria were to lose, Jacob Moran is ranked 12th, but in the Big Ten alone, in the rankings, he's behind Lilladal, Bouzakis, Peterson, Yori Volk, and Rivera. Okay, so that's 5 guys. So if Moran wins that match, Renneria at best is going to probably be the 6th seed at Nationals, and then that doesn't take into account V-Rob, Ventresca, Sheldon Seymour, Spratley, Strickenberger. So it kind of caps him there. Okay, that's a massive, and Nico Provo's there too. So that's a massive match because, like, let's say Nico Provo was to sneak a win over Eddie Ventresca. Like, these head-to-head's a big portion of the formula, and it's if A beat B and B beat C, it's going to be really hard for C to get above A. So these are things.
Will Witt be in the bracket?
So in this bracket, if everybody shows up, Oregon State is supposed to be there. Okay, Indiana's supposed to be there. So that's 2 for sure. And there's a third one here. Let me pull it back up. Oh, Stanford, Provo. So those 3 are supposed to be there. Okay. So, I mean, you're looking at on these rankings, it's number 10, 12, 14. And Earl Smith's as good as it gets. So he was a guy when we were doing our rankings, like, hey, let's make sure we're not too far off from Earl. We probably missed something. Okay, at 33, like Tyler Knox is probably your top ranked guy. Let me see. Yeah, Wisconsin is not there. I thought they might be, but they are not. So
Campbell, number 9.
Sorry?
Is Campbell
Virginia Tech?
Yeah, Dinley.
He's at Scuffle.
Oh, they're at the Scuffle. Okay.
Yeah. So I need to probably get you on this email list that Seton Hall Pyro sends me. It's super helpful. Like, we put this in a Google document every week, and it's very, very helpful. But so this is probably a relatively clear path. But again, this is the thing about a bracket like that is if you don't win it, it can kill you. So, I mean, like, it can do a lot of damage. Now, Kyle Poly, I think, is here. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so we're going to see Romney, okay? at 41. Let me go back to sharing so people kind of see what I'm doing here. So Seth Romney, I think, is the highest ranked guy here, but Danny Pacino's 14, Jack Consiglio 17. So there'll be some matchups there that are worth watching. Indiana, Henry Porter's 25. Okay, we go to 49. SIU we talked about. Stanford we talked about. That's probably the big matchups there. 57. I mean, I think most people are just really concerned with like these top matchups, but like Illinois, Stanford, that might be the match of the meet right now, Webster and Cardenas. Probably a very important one to keep an eye on. Because we both really believe in Cannon Webster, but as crazy as this is, he's ranked 4th in the Big Tens right now. And so if Cannon Webster beats him, if Daniel Cardenas has losses to Cannon Webster and PJ Duke, and in the voters' minds a loss to Ty Waters, it's going to be really tough for him to get a great seat at Nationals. 65, Hunter Garvin's the guy here, but Hunter Garvin and Brandon Scholes, and Hunter Garvin's 1-1, so he may not wrestle. He obviously must be banged up or something because he hasn't been wrestling. But that's another great matchup, number 6 against number 8, if that were to show up. 74. I don't know if we have Navy in the meet or not. I don't think we do. No. So not a bunch of guys in the top 15 here. 84. Franklin and Marshall. So Conway's number 7. He's 19-1. I'll look up before we hang up, like let me look up real quick who he's wrestled this year because he won CKLV. I don't know if he took a bad loss.
Conway?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's 19-1.
He's wrestled a truckload of matches.
Wow.
He lost to Jaxson Smith at Journeyman. So that's what's interesting. Okay, so this is a perfect example. Okay, so Jaxson Smith is 4th in the Big Ten, right? Like he's behind Ferrari, McAnally, Rocco Welsh, and just ahead of Fishback and Mantanona. But if Conway were to get his get back and beat Jaxson Smith, he now is ranked above Jaxson Smith in Nationals unless something weird happens.
Yeah.
So that's Sam Goen will be in there from Indiana, but not a lot in between. 97. Not okay. This Dylan Bechtold's 2-1 and ranked 10th, and Max Stout's 11. So that's probably your big match there. And then heavyweight or 285. So the guys you all named would have been nice if they were all in there, but
that would have been perfect. Huh?
Yeah, Luke Luffman's banged up. He got hurt. Dylan Pitzer's in there, so they may see each other. And Devin Dawson from Northern Illinois. So those guys are all like 15 to 21-ish. Okay. Cal Poly's Trevor Tinker's like 6'8". Like this guy could be a power. He could be a 4 on your basketball team too if you needed him.
Yeah, that's a big guy.
Yeah. So, all right, what's on tap for you guys for the second half of the year?
The big thing we have coming up is Cheesehead coming right in the 9th of the 9th of January. So
that's in Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. It's a pretty tough one. So we'll get to go there and test ourselves a little bit. They've been doing a pretty good job for not being able to move too far away from Iowa. We've been getting a lot of good matches. I was telling somebody when EJ was like 10-1, 5 of those matches were against the number 1 from wherever they came from, right? So yeah. I'm like, that's a pretty good. Like you're getting battle tested early, you know.
You guys have wrestled Oklahoma. You've wrestled Kansas. You wrestled the number 1 guy in Class 1 in Iowa. Yeah. And I'm guessing a couple of other states.
Minnesota. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I think, like here in Missouri, we'd wrestle guys that were like 29-1 and, they had 28 matches against School of the Blind. And, so they get to state and they don't do well.
Yeah.
And people don't understand why. And it's not that complicated. Like taking a loss or two is not always bad. I think it refocuses you. Ideally, you'd like to go undefeated, but if you're not losing a little bit, and if you're certainly not losing in matches, you need to be losing in practice.
Yeah.
Something's got to keep you humble. So
That's right. Keep you working.
Yeah. So I think this will be, we may get on the air next week. I had to look at I'm so turnaround. Oh, we will be on. So we will not say Happy New Year because we'll be on Tuesday. So you want to say hi to anybody in the fam for 2020 for your Christmas or New Year's? Because this may be the last time I talk to you on the air this year.
Hey, man, you know what I want to say is that I just appreciate whenever you ask me to come on here and talk with you. I always learn a lot. Sorry I was all jacked up on my matchups. I'm like, holy crap.
Hey, they give you the wrong information. You can only go by what they give you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, thanks a lot, Flo.
I don't know. Maybe that was last year's. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all those guys are coming, but I doubt it.
No, bro, this is on Flo. It's and it has 37 teams listed. And I'm like, I just went off of their list. So I'm like, all right, they got me jacked up because I'm like, that's why I said at the beginning, I was like, when we were talking off camera, I was like, I was really excited about these matchups because, like, Midlands has kind of been not the tournament that it used to be. I remember, when JB took on Andrew Howe the year after Andrew Howe had just won the US Open.
Yeah.
And Andrew really beat him up in that finals, but JB won the match. And after that match, me and my buddy, Cody, we bet a Pepsi on it. He owes me a Pepsi still from that match, Cody Bickley. But I was like, man, JB's never going to lose to Andrew Howe again. Who knew how much truth there was really in that statement, but it made me see him as someone who was really super match savvy, because I'm like, to get beat up the way he did and to win that match, like, it was impressive. But I want to see that type of wrestling, and I mean, we just have it in Midlands in the last couple of years.
We have 3 tournaments, and it's hard. Like, they're all good, and none are great like it was. And you can't listen, as a guy that creates events and runs them, I'm never going to throw shade at people that are creating new events. Like, when we did Hall of Fame duels, it's the same weekend as Beast, and now Fab 50 is the same weekend as Beast. And there's no free weekend. The only weekend in wrestling that's free now is the weekend after Fargo.
Yeah.
And if you tried to run an event the weekend after Fargo, nobody good would wrestle in it.
Yeah.
So you just have to understand that, but it is what it is.
The high school landscape's a little bit different, though. You can still have bangers. You can have more bangers, but college, you kind of got to be a little bit more, selective.
Well, money's determining a lot of this.
There you go.
Money's determining a lot of this. And also, like, I think what the Big Ten learned in the COVID season was just wrestling each other does not hurt. I will drop a final piece of wisdom that is not mine, but somebody said this and it was brilliant. They said, we don't need a national tournament. We already have a national tournament. It's the best event in wrestling in March. And if you want to know who the dual meet national champion is, just watch the Big Ten wrestling schedule. Because until somebody from another conference does that, like, the dual meet national championship this year is Ohio State against Penn State.
Yeah.
And that match didn't happen in Tulsa.
But it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but here's the crazy thing. Like, if you look at the Penn State Wikipedia or Kale's Wikipedia and how many times they won nationals, he's won more national titles as a head coach than Big Ten titles. There's been at least 2 times where they didn't win the Big Tens. And I saw my dad do that. We had like a big tournament team, but we had 2 holes where we didn't score any points at the regional. And so some scrub team that took 9th in nationals and we took 2nd beat us in a 9-team tournament. And so people just, math is different. How it works is different. I love duels. I mean, I love running these dual meet tournaments. It's cool for the fans. It's easier for the coaches.
It's more exciting. I think so. dual tournaments are way more exciting from my perspective, and they get behind each other.
That part is true. The other part that is also true is that in dual meets, it minimizes the impact of your best guys.
Yeah.
Like, which is probably a conversation for another day. But anyway, all right. As usual, you did a great job. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening, and we will see you guys all next week.